forward and decided to wage a war against the Nigerian people. So we said, anyone who dares to attack Niger will face us because we will wage a relentless war.
Ibrahim Traoré has just issued a bold and unwavering warning to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that's sending shockwaves through diplomatic circles across Africa and the globe. And he didn't just whisper it, he said it loud, clear, and unapologetically. We see you, and we will respond.
We will not tremble. We will face it. We will fight for true independence.
It's a frontline declaration from one of Africa's most formidable leaders, confronting a prime minister who has long been comfortable with impunity. So, what exactly did Traoré say, and why is this moment triggering such shockwaves around the world? Let's break it down. Tensions between African nations and global powers have been building for years, but this time, the catalyst wasn't the usual players. It all started with a statement allegedly made by Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, warning unnamed African leaders to stay in line or face consequences.
As Prime Minister, I've made it clear time and again, Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal. Tonight, Israel backs those words with action.
While Israeli officials later claimed the comments were taken out of context, the damage had already been done. And instead of waiting for clarification, Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, took matters into his own hands. In a high-profile press briefing in Ouagadougou, Traoré didn't hesitate. He leaned forward, addressed the camera directly, and issued a statement that would resonate far beyond Burkina Faso's borders. He wasn't talking to his people or his cabinet. He was speaking directly to Netanyahu. We are no longer colonies, he began. We are sovereign states, and if any foreign leader believes they can threaten Africa into submission, they are gravely mistaken. Then Traoré turned the volume up even further. Let this be clear to Mr. Netanyahu. Burkina Faso does not answer to Tel Aviv. We do not answer to Washington. And we do not answer to any force that believes it can buy or bomb its way into our soil. The room fell silent. Traoré's next words were simple but powerful. If you come for one of us, you come for all of us. Africa is not yours to threaten. This wasn't just a statement. It was a statement that went viral within minutes. The clip circulated across social media, especially among Pan-African networks, resistance movements, and global human rights groups.
Has made it clear would become Burkina Faso's choice as a new partner in the fight.
It wasn't just what he said, but how he said it. Calm, fierce, and unapologetically direct. Israel's foreign ministry declined to comment, and Western media largely ignored the story. However, inside the African Union and among resistance voices in countries like Mali, Niger, Guinea, and South Africa, Traoré's words hit like a drumbeat. In Mali, Colonel Assimi Goïta shared the video. In Guinea, President Mamadi Doumbouya issued a statement echoing Traoré's stance. Across African Telegram groups, hashtags like Nation Africa will not bow and Mashan we stand with Traoré began trending. What Netanyahu may have seen as political posturing from one leader was now a regional response from leaders who are no longer afraid to defy international pressure. For them, Traoré's statement wasn't reckless, it was overdue. And it forced the West to confront a question they've been avoiding for far too long. What if Africa stopped asking for permission? Ibrahim Traoré has become more than just a leader of Burkina Faso. He's emerging as a symbol of African defiance, especially against foreign interference, exploitation, and double-dealing diplomacy. His warning to Netanyahu wasn't just about Israel alone. It was a challenge to every nation that still treats Africa like a pawn on a geopolitical chessboard. And his timing wasn't accidental. With the Sahel alliance growing stronger and France being forced out of key territory, Traoré sees a shift on the horizon, a shift where African nations no longer wait for approval to speak, act, or defend their sovereignty. His message couldn't have been clearer. We're not just rising, we're remembering who we are. And then his final line, spoken without notes or hesitation, echoed across the continent. If you think Africa will remain silent while its people are threatened, think again. For some, Traoré's words were too bold. For others, they were exactly what they've been waiting for. Because for decades, Africa has been pressured, bribed, threatened, and isolated. But with Traoré at the helm, many believe they've found a leader who doesn't flinch when the world tries to impose its will. Netanyahu hasn't responded publicly, but the silence speaks volumes. Meanwhile, Traoré has already moved on to the next battle, And this is just the beginning. This isn't just about a diplomatic spat between two countries. This is the beginning of a movement, one that will challenge the long-standing power structures in global politics. The question now is,